A very good afternoon from the sports desk. The Currie Cup semi-finalists have been decided. It is the Cheetahs, the Sharks, the Pumas and the Blue Bulls who have all booked their places in the last four of the competition. Now, after an intense 14 rounds of action, the Pumas sealed their spot on Friday already, while the other three sides punched their tickets on Saturday. The Cheetahs' victory over the Bulls saw them overtake the Sharks into first place on the standings, their achievement helped by Western Province's drubbing of the Durban franchise. So what can we expect in the semis next weekend? Well, to help us answer that question, I'm joined by World Rugby Hall of Fame inductee Kennedy Tsimba. A very good morning to you, Mr. Tsimba. Thank you so much for your time. It was an interesting final round of fixtures, one must say, especially when you look at the beatdown that the Sharks got at the hands of a Western Province side that's not even in the playoffs. But then you've got the Pumas, who are also still on course to defend their title. It's going to take quite a bit of work from them to manage to do that. What do you make of the 14 rounds of Currie Cup action this season?
Yeah, well, I think it's started to pick up and exciting, and it's always good when you can get some of the URC players, although some are saying it's not fair, but it's sort of brought to life because there's no other distractions, from the URC and the Champions League and all that. It's straight on Currie Cup, and that's where the foundation of South African rugby has been built. So to have the competition that's going right down to the wire, as you said, Western Province, the team that's not even in the semi-finals, they're able to just give that beat down on the Sharks. That makes for interesting reading.
Will the Pumas fancy their chances against the Sharks, having seen what they saw against Western Province, or is a semi-final match a different kettle of fish?
Yeah, well, I think the Pumas are probably the one team that's in the semi-finals that has got a lot at stake, because they've done well in the previous couple of Currie Cups in past seasons. So now that all these sort of big boys have come back into the unions, and it's almost full strength, which is good. This is the time for a coach like Jimmy Stonehouse and the Pumas to really show their value. If they're able to take down the Sharks, that then proves that there is voices in the smaller unions.
What did you make of your former team, though, Mr. Tsimba? What a turnaround of their season. They started, I think, with, 4 losses on the trot, the first 4 matches. They did not pick up a victory. And then Jake White was like, okay, look, I need to take over now and essentially fix this situation. And fix it he did, because they're in the semi-finals.
Yeah, and sometimes it's dangerous. A team that has come from such adversity, with those losses and a change of coach, sometimes those are the most dangerous teams because they've got nothing to lose. They know they're not going to play any games at home. So it's mindset, let's get ready. We're going to travel all the way. And if any team has done it in the past, it's been the Bulls. They understand how to win semi-final rugby and final rugby.
Who was your biggest letdown this particular season? I mean, if I'm going to offer my opinion, I think the Golden Lions were rather disappointing. They did not play to the potential I think they had, and perhaps they could have done something, and maybe they will have quite a lot to look back on. But who would have been your biggest disappointment this season?
Yes, I would agree with you there, Morena. That right there on the money. It is the Lions, especially because their juniors and the under-21s have done well. They won the Junior Cup about a year or 2 ago. So those youngsters have started to filter through into the senior squad. So you would have liked them, just to at least get enough points in that early part of the season to be able to leave them in a semi-final berth. Because the key thing is, if you can just get to the semi-final berth, then it's open. It's open door for everybody. So I just feel that the Lions didn't get that quite right. Was also a disappointing team performing in the URC. Yeah, we do understand there's a lot of problems there, but you would have expected their current team to do well.
Who looks like a favorite to take this title? I mean, I know we still have to get past the semi-finals, but who's looking like a well-oiled machine that can actually go all the way and lift this trophy?
Yeah, well, it's very strange because some of the teams that have performed well have sort of let you down in the later stages. The Cheetahs are looking good, but they were dodgy a couple of weeks ago. So it's a tough one to call. I'm going to back my old team and say that they're going to come from under pressure, and we can see them scoring a try there. I would say the Bulls are a danger team. Perhaps just watch for them. They experienced in these knockout competitions, and with a coach like Jake White, that they're in good hands and astute hands, and they're going to be smart about how they go approach the semi-finals.
Well, they are coming next weekend, are those semi-finals. Definitely going to be an exciting time in South African domestic rugby. Mr. Tsimba, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon here on eNCA. That is World Rugby Hall of Fame inductee and former Bulls star Kennedy Tsimba, just giving his thoughts, of course, on the recently concluded regular season of the 2023 Currie Cup. We are now moving into the business end. The semi-finals are coming up next weekend.